Hey guys, what's up? Steve here, and this is going to be a quick video on a master grade Banshee. So this should be part 3. I made part 1 and 2 at the beginning of 2013, so it's been well over a year, so I thought I would just make this part 1. And what I'm doing today is doing some modifications to the legs. These are modifications I need to do before painting, and all the other modifications, which are basically simply drilling holes through parts to run wires, those will be done after I do painting. But these are some of the more major modifications, and in this video I'm just going to go over those and keep this video kind of short. So I typically start with the legs with these kits and kind of work my way up. I did that with the Master Grade Unicorn, which if you did watch parts 1 and 2 of the Banshee kit, you know I ended up breaking a lot of the circuits in this kit, and I learned a lot. So I'm going to take what I learned from the Unicorn as well as what I've learned from all the other kits I've lit since then and apply it to the Banshee. So what I did cover in parts 1 and 2 were mostly the modifications to this ball joint. It's like hip ball joint thing, and fortunately I've learned since then that what I did isn't going to do what I wanted it to do. So I was using some brass tubing and epoxy putty to create structure so I can cut away a lot of material, and that would allow me to run wires through this. As I fished through the other bags of parts, I found the other part that I finished. You can see there's like a slit there, and there's a hole there. So I thought I put a copper tube through that piece, but it doesn't look like I did. I know I put one through here, and yeah, what I've learned is the epoxy putty doesn't actually stick to plastic all that well. While it's in there, the plastic could easily still break, and the epoxy putty is not going to do anything to add strength to it, even though I filled in like all those little ribs and stuff. It just doesn't add strength. And I've also thought that feeding a conductive tube and feeding wires through that could easily get scraped and create a short circuit isn't also a good idea. So what I'm actually going to do is take the hip joints from the Unicorn and just swap them so I at least can still have a completed model, and start over and simply just drill 2 small little holes through here. What I'm going to focus on tonight are the other modifications I'm doing to the legs. I'll start at the foot. The first thing I did was I glued the inner frame in place, like so. One of the mistakes I made on the Unicorn was that I tried to make it transformable, and that caused me all kinds of headaches and problems. So on the Banshee I'm going to make it transformed, and I'm going to be gluing pretty much everything in place. That way nothing can move when you don't expect it to, and you get a much stronger, sturdier base. So yeah, went ahead and glued just these 2 joints, this back heel and this piece here, and of course I actually used this piece here to kind of make sure I got it good and level, so it's gonna sit sturdily like so. Next what I did was I glued all these pieces together. This is the ankle armor. Unfortunately I got a fingerprint in the plastic, and that's gonna suck to kind of clean up because this top piece is kind of lower than the other pieces, but I'll be able to do it. It's gonna be annoying, but yeah. And the reason I did this was to remove the gaps that are formed in here. They're just kind of really ugly. And I got this tip from a Hobby Japan magazine, and I can't remember who exactly shared that video with me. I picked up that tip from there, and it just creates a much cleaner looking kit. So that's what I've done there. And I'm going to actually rescribe those panel lines there and just kind of clean that up. You may be wondering how exactly I'm going to get the joint there in there. So what I did was I cut off the back half, and I also cut off the rest of this joint here. Normally there's this ball joint that'd connect like that. Just cut that off. So what I'm going to do is, after I paint these pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and pop this in, and then I'm going to have to glue it, but basically you get the same look and feel, but you get the color separation and you get a much cleaner looking part. That's another of the modifications I've done. So the next modification I did was I cut the this cycle frame piece in half, and I'm going to remove those so you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that back in. So yeah, I just basically cut that right there. This will be covered up by these little pieces here when it all gets assembled, so you won't see that cut line. And if I wanted to, I can easily just glue these because they won't be painted. The reason I did that was because I glued this piece extended in place. So this is one of the pieces that's part of the transformation, and on the normal mode it extends in, and to transform it you pull this piece out, exposing the cycle frame. And because I'm just going to leave it in the transformed cycle frame mode, I'm just going to glue those pieces in place. And similarly, I glued this piece extended like so. So my next steps for this kit, for painting, it's just finish cleaning up the parts, wash them, and then just prime and paint. For lighting, once I've painted the inner frame, I'll begin to get lights into place and start to assemble the kit and just start feeding lights through it. So my plan is to put quite a bit more LEDs than I put in the unicorn. I think I put like 40 or something LEDs in the unicorn, maybe more. I'm planning to try to double that. Seriously, just put so many LEDs in this kit. It's gonna be crazy. But all that's gonna take shape as I start to actually build the kit. And I'll definitely do my best to make some videos along the way and try to show you guys the most useful bits of information so you guys can learn from this and try to do it yourself if you wanted to. Alright, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. So expect a few other videos on other things before the next update on the Banshee, but I'm definitely itching to do some LED stuff. I haven't done any lighting in a long time, and this has been a project I've been meaning to finish for 2 years. I'm going to try my best to get this finished relatively quick. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.